Good evening, I'm Matthew Younan. Welcome to SBS World News. In breaking news, former Labor leader and NDIS Minister Bill Shorten has announced he'll be retiring from politics in February. After 17 years in federal parliament, he'll be stepping down to take on a new role as the Vice-Chancellor at the University of Canberra.
Of the 72 women that we were unable to accept in the refuge last year because of lack of vacancy, we always make sure that we refer them on to other services and supports, and in some cases we will actually pay for temporary accommodation if there's no accommodation available, particularly difficult for women on precarious visas. But every woman and child who we can't provide a bed at Mary's House Refuge is at risk of homelessness.
The report found there have been more than 60,000 attempted suicides in Australia each year. Suicide Prevention Australia have welcomed the release for consultation, but say they're disappointed it's been framed as advice. They're calling on the government to reframe it and work towards a national strategy. Following the launch of the federal government's new policy, sporting boardrooms across the country will have to meet gender equity targets or risk funding being withheld.
I think dance is something that connects with an audience at a visceral way. It's something that everyone can understand, no matter where you're from, no matter what your background is, no matter what your first language or second language is, we all understand dance.
We're thinking more about, rather than our differences, our cultural differences, more about what we share together as humans.
Performers have been working tirelessly for the past fortnight ahead of the show's premiere next week. After Sydney, Twofold will travel to Paris next year, which will mark the start of its 2025 European tour. Following the launch of the federal government's new policy, sporting boardrooms across the country will have to meet their gender equity targets or risk funding being withheld.
The momentum of just oh my God, the joy of what we have done, it just didn't kind of compute for us, some of the girls as well. I had one of my teammates turn to me and go, "Did we win?" I'm like, "Yes!"
It's such a humongous step forward.
Hundreds of people have flocked here to welcome home their Paris Olympic and Paralympic heroes. It's the first of 10 events around the country where Australians young and old can welcome home their champion athletes and get up close and personal with them. Looking ahead to tonight's sport, it's going to be a big weekend in the AFL, with all eyes on the Giants and Lions as they battle it out in the finals on Saturday night. Greater Western Sydney coach Adam Kingsley says Toby Bedford will be fit to play against the Brisbane Lions in a do-or-die semi-final clash on Saturday night. With the pressure of finals football, Adam Kingsley asked for all cameras to be switched off for some drills at Giants training today, mindful of not giving Brisbane any playbook information.
Look, I just think we were trying a few things that I didn't really want to make sure didn't get out. So I'm not going to tell you what they were either before you ask. So yeah, we just wanted to keep it a bit more secluded.
Kingsley wants the Giants to bounce back after the Sydney Swans' strong final quarter denied his side victory last weekend. And against the Lions, he knows GWS must be at its best.
We know the Lions are in terrific form. Having kept Carlton virtually goalless in a half a footy is an outstanding defensive effort, particularly. But we know they're a good team. We're certainly expecting their best, and we're expecting to bring our best.
Brisbane will welcome back defender Jack Payne, who has overcome a knee injury, in time for the crucial clash. After a poor start to the season, winning just 2 of their first 7 matches, the Lions are currently one of the in-form sides of the competition, narrowly missing out on a top 4 berth. Last year's beaten grand finalists looking to go all the way and win the big prize this time round. The Giants have a good record against the Lions, beating them twice this season, as recently as last month when they beat them at the Gabba by 3 goals. But the coach knows they'll still need all the support they can get.
Carlton game was as loud as I've heard our crowd since I've been here. Their chanting and general support was at a level that would rival some of the Melbourne clubs, to be quite fair. So that's what we want. We need their support. They're like our 19th man.
The winner will meet Geelong in next week's preliminary final for a spot in the grand final. Matthew Younan, SBS World News. That's the world today. I'm Matthew Younan. From the World News team, take care and have a good night.